Welcome back. We are here at Martin Creek Lake State Park, and we've already hiked 2 of the trails. Kind of did our drive-through around, check out some of the campsites, day use area, swimming area. We're fixing to hike the last trail here. It's the old Henderson road loop. It's 1.4 miles, and it is a moderate trail. Now, I know I said on the last trail, the Harmony Hill Trail where we were parked, I couldn't remember the name of the campsite kind of over here behind me. That is the Bee Tree campsite. So, you know, that's where we are. And then, of course, then back on down towards the entrance, you got the shelters and cabins back down that way. And then, of course, there at the day use area, you got the bridge that crosses over onto the island trail, which we hiked that earlier. And that's a pretty cool trail. I did see armadillo over there on that island, and I didn't think there would be any type of, you know, deer or armadillos, squirrels, rabbits, or anything like that on the island, because I couldn't figure out how they would get over there. But from someone I talked to who was hiking the trail, she told me, yeah, she's seen deer over there and, you know, a lot of other animals. So I guess they are there. I know on the last trail I hiked, the Harmony Hill Trail, I did come across some deer out there. I mean, when I spotted the first one, I mean, it shot across the path in front of me. Maybe my body camera caught it, I don't know. I have to check it out when I view over the footage. Then while I was standing there, I saw another one go across. Well, I don't think I had my camera running at that time, but hopefully the body camera might have caught it. And after I crossed the path where they were crossing, there was like a big vine almost right in the center of the path that was growing out of the ground and going up, and then split off going to 2 trees. That thing was probably 2.5, 3 inches in diameter at least. But while I was getting ready to take a picture of it, another deer shot across. So, you know, I have to see if I was able to capture any of them. So anyways, we're here getting ready to hike this last trail, the old Henderson road loop. And basically going to go back up in here the same way we went to do the Harmony Hill Trail. Instead of going right, we're going to go left this time. So, probably going to do the same thing on this one. Just going to go with the body cam and kind of use the handheld when we come to places of interest, because body cam is going to be a lot smoother than what this handheld is, because walking and trying to video is just kind of jerky. It's not, almost looks like I'm swaying back and forth, I'm sure. So anyways, we're going to hike back up this way and, you know, check out this other trail. So come along. Let's see what it has to offer. Must get swampy through here is why they put this in from water, while that kind of raises up. Here come a doggy. How you doing?
Doing well. How you doing?
Pretty good. Enjoying the day.
Oh, beautiful day. Yep.
That's the way we came out off the Harmony Trail. And we're going to go back up this way a little bit and pick up the old Henderson Road Trail. And got some look like walk planks that I guess at one time went through here, but they replaced them with this more of a build-up pathway. Like they could have made it a little bit more level instead of kind of high in the middle and sloping off to the sides. But we'll manage. Looks like it goes a little ways back in here too, so I guess this is cheaper than putting a concrete walkway through. I can't imagine going to some of the parks that they have a trail or two that's handicap accessible. It's just a concrete. That would almost remind me of just walking around in town on the sidewalks, but the only difference is instead of passing houses, passing trees here. There's a fence line through here, but that might be the property line. Private property, or I don't know. I guess it could be part of the park. They're just not using it, so kind of keeping people off of that area. I took about a half-hour break and thought, well, I'm good to go, but haven't walked very far and my legs hurting again already. So I don't know whether taking a break might have just didn't work, made it worse, where my leg relaxed too much, and or what it is. I'll give a little video of this here, probably shadowing it, but looks like some kind of mushroom or something growing here off of the part of the root system. But yeah, I got this kind of like gravel walkways running back out there at the start of the trail, all the way up to here, and then ends. And got a little bench out here you can sit down on. I guess you go to the left, you can go one way on the trail, or go straight, you can go the other way. Let's see. I just got to figure out which way I want to go here. Most parks, well, I don't know if it's most of them or not, but a lot of the parks, they kind of have that, I don't know if you want to call it a rule or what it is, but it's, parks that have accessible hiking and biking, where they want the bikers to go clockwise and the hikers to go counterclockwise. Don't know whether these trails here are hiking only, no bikes are allowed. I'll check and find out that information. They look like they're good enough to ride bikes on. They are wide enough, but I haven't seen no bikes out here today, but then it's middle of the week, so maybe nobody's here to do that. I've seen a few hikers, Um, I don't know. Which way do you think we should go? Go to the left, go clockwise like a bike's, or go counterclockwise like they say the hikers are supposed to go? I'm brave. Let's take the bike route. It's kind of thick down through here, like Harmony Hill Trail, so it's pretty cool. See if we see any deer or any wildlife on this side. I don't know if there's any intuitive signs or not, but there's definitely, I guess the reason they're calling it more of a moderate trail, because it definitely got some roots sticking up out of the ground, so pay attention where you're walking, even though I know you like to kind of look around off to the side to see if you can eyeball any wildlife or see anything interesting. But hey, if you have to, walk 15, 20 foot, stop for a second, look around, don't see anything, continue on. These trees a little windy, so they definitely blowing back and forth out there. Yeah, I hear two branches rubbing against each other. Yeah, it's got that's the only thing I can see. It's got some obstacles you got to navigate around on this trail. So other than that, it don't look like it's too hard. See the lake off to the left over there. The trails are real visible, so you do know where you're going. Pretty much no mistaking them. And I would say this trail, you probably want to make sure you have some good hiking shoes because of the slopes and the little kind of ditches or water runoff that's washed kind of ruts in it out. I don't know if you can hear that sound on the camera or not, but it's where two trees are rubbing against each other. I mean, I hear a jet flying over, but that almost like a groan or a moan. That's a tree. See if I can let this jet get by. Might be able to hear it a little better. Well, I've got one jet going that way and one jet going that way. Yeah. There's a bench seat. That's a pretty good size tree log there. Yeah, I need to cut some of those up, kind of roll them out here along the side. Be a good place for people to sit down and take breaks. Yeah, kind of watch for branches that are kind of sticking out from the side over the path where you don't walk into them and kind of hit you in the face. Looks like we got a little bridge to go across here. Got some big branches falling down here. Got like a stream that runs down through here. Not too bad. I would think it would be flowing that way instead of this way. Can't tell. But I know the lake's down that way, so that should be the way the water's flowing. Look at these big old trees. My grandson, he'd have a ball on that one over there. He would definitely get up there and hike on it. This is pretty cool. That's one thing about trails. They're not all the same. I mean, they're a trail. They're hiking, you're going to see trees and everything, but there's still a little different stuff to each one of them to see. Yeah, pretty cool. Looks like a lot more of the bigger trees are falling over here, where they could utilize some of them and make like little bench seats. I know that's what I would do. It looks like it's gotten a little swampy through here. Big old tree there. I'm sure that's had some woodpecker use out of it. Looks like a lot of the jets that are flying over through here. They're not like your major airlines. They look more like commuter type jets. Because they're flying a lot lower. That's the reason why they're so loud. Almost like we're real close to the power plant on this trail. I almost come out of the woods, and they're right there at the power plant, so maybe the water is flowing this way and not the other way. Because right down there is a lake straight ahead of me. Kind of the same over here. See a lot of baby pine trees that'll grow up to replace some of these big ones at some point. Then have all these pine needles on the path or the trail. You might be able to see traces of animal prints. Yeah, a little swampy bayou there. One big old dead. It looks like most of those are dead that are out here in the water. But I'm sure woodpeckers are loving it. Yeah, I would say that this trail probably gets somewhat muddy when it rains. Got some mud right here. We're going to try to navigate around. Yeah, water, if it's high, it's going to just bleed off. They need to build a bridge across here or raise that up. Oh, there's a nice little bench seat up ahead here. And I imagine some people have probably used it. Going up a little incline here. A little more of a slope than over on the other trails, but still not bad. And it's not very long before you level out, so. I guess I could say, yeah, it meets my approval. That didn't wear me out. This is a pretty nice trail, though. A little more noise over here being closer to the power plant just across the lake from me. I swear, this one jet's just up here flying circles back and forth. Wherever airport they're going to, there's a lot of them going back and forth through here. I hear it, but I don't see it. It's up there somewhere. But it must go between here and maybe Dallas. Well, looks like maybe a bike has been out here, so. Looks like a trail of a bike going right through there. Possibly. Looks too wide to be a wagon. Could be a wheelbarrow, but what's the fun in that? Pushing a wheelbarrow out here. See some ducks out there on the lake. I guess the smaller the pine, a little harder the bristles are. Another little bench here. I guess this is kind of a bird watching area where you can come out and watch ducks. A little windy out here. Woo! Yep. Wind blowing off the lake. So I'll probably gonna have some that wind almost took my hat away. Boy, these trees are definitely swaying back and forth out there with a lot of wind that's coming off this side of the lake. Jet coming through here about every 5 minutes. About one of the only things I would kind of dislike about this park is having to listen to those all day long, going over back and forth. Need to do a little modification on my backpack. Needs a lower strap down here to kind of tighten it, or it's not just kind of bouncing up and down off my back. Because all it has is just the one strap, kind of the chest strap that goes across. That's kind of a cool little area we're fixing to go through. Looks pretty thick. Yeah, they definitely need to do a little bush trimming out here. Nice little shaded spot, cool breeze blowing through. know if this is just a little inlet of water that comes back up in here, or whether it goes on around. Yeah, some of these parks that we're going to go to and spend a couple days, 2-3 days camping out. We plan on getting a rowboat, canoe, something to where we can do a little water exploring out there around the parks. Get kind of a view from out there back towards the land, kind of what it looks like. Game trail. Looks like it goes down through there. Water runoff, almost like a waterfall. If there was water coming down through there. Sure, it probably sounds like one or looks like one. Those are pretty much, looks like all the same kind of jets that's running through here. Well, I'm kind of curious as whether there's a training center maybe that they're just up there flying around training, you know, to get their license to be a leader jet pilot. You know, looks like the old type sign here, which they've changed out for the different markers. I guess they didn't want to paint the old rusty signs, but kind of reminds me of the signs there at Tyler State Park. Going uphill here. At least it's not like Tyler State Park where you're going uphill. This is kind of a gradual grade, but it's a lot further than the other trails on the little upgrades that they had over there. Yeah, I'm really curious on yeah, I'm pretty sure over on the island that's not a bike trail. I mean, it may be, I don't know for sure, but these over here, these two trails, they just might be bike trails. Well, like I say, I'll see if I can't find out a little information there. Of course, if you gotta go by the multi-use rule, bikes are going to have to come uphill here, because I'm going the way that they would be going if they abide by that rule here. Oh yeah, I'm feeling this a little climb in my legs, and we still got a little ways to go. I mean, it's not steep, but it's a gradual incline, so my right leg's no problem, but I do have issues with the left leg. But I'm hoping doing more trail hiking, that'll maybe help that out, where it's not as much an issue. I mean, I'm sure it won't get rid of all of it. I'll still have to take breaks here and there, but you know, it might ease it up a little bit where it'll be a little easier. This is beautiful. This is what I like about the way I do trail hikes. It's just not a constant just walk through, you know. It's taking the time to stop and kind of look around, and because if you're just walking through, you know, just to hike, I guess kind of like a workout, you know, instead of a treadmill or what they call it, a Stairmaster or whatever it is, for exercise. You know, I'm out here on the trails, but if you're just walking, who knows what all you're missing beauty-wise out here in this parks. I'm enjoying it. I am in no hurry. I still got plenty of daylight hours, which I'll be well done before that, because this is not a very long trail, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably halfway, if not over halfway, done. And yeah, then I got that long drive back home, but hey, that's part of it. If you're going to go to state parks in Texas, you better figure you're going to be doing some driving, but could be worse. I'd be going way out there to West Texas, which, yeah, when I go do those, I might as well just say, well, we're going to go to this park, we're going to spend 3 days here, go to the next park, stay another 3 days. No way I'm driving back and forth for each park. You know, it'll be like a road trip. Where you're out there and just go to several parks before you come back home and take a break. Looks like I might have a bridge way up yonder that I'm fixing to cross. I don't know what I like better, is just a trail that just walks straight through for a long ways, that you can see either direction, or whether I like ones that kind of curve back and forth to where you kind of lose sight of the trail ahead of you until you go around the curve. Definitely hear some birds out here. I do believe that is a cardinal I'm hearing. I am familiar with some birds. I guess basically the ones you pretty much see all the time around home. But I do have a lot of cardinals that kind of hang out there at the house. You know, come to the bird feeder, you know, got some mockingbirds, some type of sparrow. I'm not sure the proper name of it, but they're, you know, look like a sparrow to me. But I mean, there's so many, I guess, different breeds of sparrow. Yep, that's a bridge up ahead. Looks like a pretty wide one. What better way to enjoy a day than on a trail hike in the woods. Well, I'm going downhill now. I'm kind of curious as when I get to the bottom, I'm going back up. Oh, there's some nice bench seats. I think I'm going to take a break right here. Have a sit for a minute. These look pretty fresh. I think it's calling my name. Actually, it almost looks like there was a bench just on the other side of the bridge, but this is a nature bench. Mother Nature built this one. Oh, a little bit on a slope, but maybe I'll kind of angle around. Not too bad. I don't know if I can set my phone down there if it's going to take off sliding. Yeah, it's working. Whew, yeah. I'm loving this. I recommend it, get your family. Load up for a day. Go to a state park. Whether it's the trail hike or maybe ride a bike on the trail. Go to a day use area so the kids can go swimming, have a picnic or barbecue. Maybe even go camping. Definitely. I definitely recommend that because that is. See if I can see behind me there. Yeah. That's pretty cool to go do something like this. Enjoy life while you can. Get away from that every day of having to work all the time and worrying about or stressing over bills or other things. Get away from all the traffic, the noise, the city life. Just get out in nature at one of these parks and enjoy it. The peacefulness of it. It makes me happy as can be. Kind of takes away all the frustrations. It just kind of puts you in a different, mind set to where you're not thinking about all that everyday life that you're going through. It's like you're kind of putting it on pause and going out and just enjoying. So yeah, definitely I recommend you do it. You probably thank me for it, and more likely you're going to get hooked like I did, wanting to come out here and just spend as much time as you can out here. Tell me, is this not beautiful or what? This is what you call life in the wilderness in a way. There are some parks that's a little more opened up where you can see further, but that's cool as hell too, because you're on one side of the hill hiking the trail and look down through the valley and up the other side of the hill and see a bunch of deer over there. Yeah. Must be the borderline over there because I see a sign. Looks like a fence that runs through there, so we're probably right here on the upper side of the park, which that means we'll go this way for a little bit and then we'll probably bear off to the right and go back down towards the parking lot. Well, let's go on down here. Oh, shit, can't get up. These are a little bit lower than the ones that are taller. They're not as big and round. Yeah. Let's get down here. See what's happening down here at the bridge. There's a bunch of water running down through there. Got a fire trail for a park employees only to be able to get back here around the park. We'll take one of these outside trails to go around, and their little paths to get back in to some of these areas. Looks like a little water in it, but not a lot. Yeah, there is a bench on the other side over here. Yeah, I like the natural bench. I'm pretty sure when it rains, a lot of water comes down through here. Kind of like, looks like water might be flowing down through there now. Not very fast, but it does look like on down there where it kind of thins out, I can see ripples in the water, so it is flowing through, going down that direction towards the lake. Yeah. Looks like we're fixing to go uphill again. Okay, from way up there. Now it looks like we're going to be going way up there. Well, I hope that was a tree I heard rubbing against each other. Got some kind of animal or something over there. Alright, what do we got here? Got another information sign. Travels through time. Follow the paths established by Native Americans. I guess that's kind of the blocks or lots or whatever of this area where travelers would stop. I guess there's a cemetery here too. It's called Harmony Hill Cemetery. That might have been the one right there at the entrance that we passed coming down in up there at the main road. And then, of course, talking about what is that? Well, looks kind of like a hawk to me. It's not an eagle, it has to be a hawk. So, you know, all that's going to be out here. This is gorgeous. It's starting to get a little cooler because it's starting to get later in the afternoon now. So, let's keep going. We definitely ain't gonna go up that way, although it looks like that might be the way the trail goes. So, you know, I would think they would have a little sign here pointing this direction, but if you kind of you know, look around when you get to a spot that kind of looks like that. You may be able to figure out for sure which way the trail goes. You know, it'd probably be a lot easier, you know, if it wasn't, you know, wintertime, fall time, all the leaves and pine needles on the trails, on the path. Probably be a little easier telling where the path is, but this time of year it kind of blends in with the rest of the landscape around you. So, well, this looks kind of cool and spooky going through. You're real close to the dense thickness on each side of you, so something moving in these bushes or thick brush might make you jump. Yeah. I guess if you stacked a few of them on top of each other, that would make a good seat. Maybe that's a sitting seat area for children. Something below the ground. Oh, can you hear that? Two trees rubbing together. Oh yeah. Kind of like that tree letting off some gas. Yeah. Oh, we're getting up closer to it. Circling around, going kind of back up the hill here. As thick as this is through the side of me, I'd have never known the trail was right over here, because you can't see the other side where we just walked through, at least not right through here. I mean, if you stopped, and you might be able to pinpoint it over there, but that would be a good place to do my walkthrough video. If I had my tripod that would anchor my camera. And of course we're going to circle back around, go right back alongside the one we just come across. I can't tell what branches are rubbing against what branch up there, but they definitely rubbing. like this trail, especially right through here. This is the way trails are meant to be. Where you're not sure which way they're going to go. Does feel like a little bit of an uphill climb though. Not much. Probably why it's kind of zigzagging back and forth. There's a good tree there for like a bench seat where you can sit down and take a break. Sounds like the tree's rubbing almost right above us, like we're fixing to go under it. There's one tree that's kind of fallen, leaning over against this other tree up there. That might be where it's coming from. Maybe. Yeah, it's got to be that one. So that's where it sounds like it's coming from, and that's really the only place I can see a possibility of it doing that. Oh. Whew. That tree had to go. Yeah, it's definitely that one. Well, if that branch breaks, it's going to come right down across the trail here, so don't break now. I'm afraid I'd be like one of the deer. I'd head right straight off into the thickets to get away from it. Yeah, one thing about with the pine needles, you can walk across on them and nobody will hear you coming up. There's probably a path Indians walk on where they can sneak up on you. This trail is cool. Looks like a game path that runs right off through there. Probably that deer use. Looks like we're here alongside the fence line again. And that's Park Ranger Trail for their SUVs or RTVs to get over in here. Now, of course, it might be on over here. Looks like it's a better trail for them to go across. But that has to be the borderline of the park. So that more than likely is private property over there. And I would say there was probably some armadillos maybe in this area, from the looks of where the pine needles kind of pushed up into a pile, like they were rooting through them to get them some bugs. Yeah, my legs are feeling it. Park Rangers got that route going that way. Not a trail. Well, it's good because I wanted to go and climb up this little hill over these roots. It's more fun instead of walking up a fire trail that's a lot smoother. Yeah. After I get done on this one, let's see, there was about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 7, 3.5, 4 miles of trails here, I guess. Yeah, I put in my hike for the day. It's probably why my legs kind of aching a little bit. But it's worth it. I can put up with a little ache and pain to enjoy something like this. I mean, it could be a lot worse. I could be out here on the trail and decide to come a downpour. It's raining. But we should be pretty much getting close to the end of the trail. And I know we've walked over a mile. And it was only, if I remember right, it was only 1.4 on this trail. So, yeah. Probably don't have a lot farther to go. And then we can call it a day. We've got to pretty much explore the whole park. So that was a worthwhile day trip that my grandson missed out on. I mean, things do come up. So he wanted to go, but something come up where he basically had to cancel. But I'm sure he'll be on the next one with me. We'll go to a different park. We may go to probably either Lake Bob Sandlin or possibly Cooper Lake. They're pretty much close together. We'll go to one of those two on the next run. Not sure which one, so those videos will be coming up before long. All right, here we are back at the split. Well, you got that kind of gravel part, so we ain't got far to go. That's the way we went. This is the way we came out. So yeah, we're real close to the end. So I think we've already seen this part. And I'm glad you joined me on the trails today. Be sure, if you haven't seen the other videos, go check them out on this park, as well as, you know, go check out the videos on the other parks that we've done. You know, I do believe it's interesting. You know, get some information about the park. And, I mean, sometimes we even have some funny things that happen while we're out there on the trails, and you know, so yeah, go check them out. Become a fan follower of our channel, The Camping Life with Tim. And I guess until next time, we'll see you on the trails.